All right, welcome back once again, everybody. It's the Dr. Tree Fruit and Don podcast. I'm Don Seifrit. I'm here with Dr. Kari Peter. Say hi, Kari.
Hello.
And for the first time, we're here with Sarah Zost. Say hi, Sarah.
Hello.
And we will go into why Sarah's here and who she is and where she's from in a little bit. But Kari, if you want to give your brief disease update first, we'll do that.
Yeah, since this is pressing on the mind when I'm looking outside the window. So currently it is April 3rd, 2025, and I did put out a disease update alerting folks of the multi-day rain forecast for the next couple days. And there was also a brief update on Monday. But just as a reminder, it looks like the forecast is coming to fruition. So hopefully folks have trees covered up, or they will be getting them covered up shortly, depending on where you're located, wherever you have green tissue. But I just want to give a shout out just as a reminder of what's coming up as far as phenologically and also as far as what's the next diseases we need to be thinking about. So most likely, I suspect next week we'll have a couple varieties in tight cluster, and there's going to be a stretch of dry weather. So tight cluster and dry weather equals powdery mildew. So tight cluster is the time that we start for powdery mildew. So on some of those early varieties that are showing tight cluster would be a good idea to probably get some powdery mildew control material on there. Sulfur is a good option. I like sulfur. It's nice and cheap and it does a great job. You want to use at least 6 pounds to the acre. You don't want to use less than that. I've tested that. Less than 6 pounds doesn't work. So just we will probably have another update next week just to remind folks, but I just want to prime people's minds to be thinking about what's next. And because I have a feeling the season is not going to be slowing down anytime soon. It is off to the races. So the next thing we need to be thinking about once we hit this dry stretch is powdery mildew. So, and then as far as the stone fruit goes, I think we're still in good shape. Our stone fruit aren't really blooming right now. We aren't in brown rot weather yet, so I think we can kind of feel a little bit relaxed with the stone fruit right now. Pending any sudden freezes or unexpected freezes, where we'd have to think about blossom blast, but that's not on the horizon. So, just as a reminder, we've got an apple scab infection event we are in progress with. The most likely will be the next couple days, and then next week we probably should be thinking about powdery mildew control or starting powdery mildew control. So that is my spiel. Any questions, Don?
No, sounds good. I know for myself, we were talking about this briefly before we started up. I got soaked through to the bone for 2 days straight. So I know it's a little different down your guys' way, but yeah, it was as I was driving, I was like, oh, this is nice early season weather. It'll be nice and wet and warm for uh
Yeah, and these are perfect conditions for apple scab. Once the trees break dormancy and show green tissue, apple scab spores start to be mature and they gradually uptick as far as the volume of spores that are mature spores that are available. So if you've had a problem with apple scab in the past, you need to have your foot on the gas.
cool. And so we'll switch gears. So Sarah, you are our guest today. Do you want to tell folks kind of who you are, why you're here?
Yeah, so I am Sarah Zost. I am a fourth generation apple grower in Adams County, but I'm here on behalf of SHAP, the State Horticultural Association of Pennsylvania. We are seeking a new executive secretary. Maureen Irvin, who I'm sure everyone listening knows very well, is ready to step towards retirement. So she has offered to handle a training year for the new replacement. So the new hire will get to work with her for a year to learn the job fully before she officially steps into retirement.
Cool. Can you give a brief kind of description of like what some of that job entails?
Absolutely. So some of the responsibilities are to maintain the official correspondence and communications of SHAP and the financial records of the organization. This person will need to attend 3 in-person meetings, usually held at FREC a year, and of course, attend the Mid-Atlantic Fruit and Vegetable Convention at Hershey pretty much the whole week. But this overall, the position is pretty flexible the rest of the year if you're not needing to attend things in person. So the peak hours are between October and January. And this person will serve as the convention coordinator for the convention committee. So that means they're like the point of contact with the Hershey Lodge, They work cooperatively with other state level horticultural organizations. They plan and coordinate our annual banquet, plan and coordinate the trade show, acquire sponsorships, make meeting and meal arrangements for us, manage the SHAP membership registration. They really handle all of the back end to make that event a success for us, in addition to the back end for our organization the rest of the year.
I work really closely with Maureen myself since I edit the newsletter for you guys. And yeah, I know she does a ton of work and she and I are pretty much in contact at least once a week. If someone wants to apply for this, when do they have to apply by?
Yep, so applications will be accepted now through May 1st, and interviews will be conducted in June, and then we're hoping for a start date of July 1st, so they have really the full year to work with Maureen. I should also say the position is mostly remote, except for the in-person meetings. So this person needs a place to work from home to handle mostly computer work, but also some paperwork. Please email your resume and references to Jen Benton if you're interested in the position. That is Jen Benton at Adams County Nursery. So it's Jen, Jen, at AC Nursery for Adams County Nursery.com.
Is there a copy of this available online anywhere, like on the SHAP website?
If there is not one right now, we're working on getting it up.
Okay.
So check when
So
this
if
episode comes out or check again in a week. Also, the position advertisement will be going in the PA Fruit News. So check your mailboxes next week. I know it went to print this week. You should get it shortly. It will be in there.
Yep, we just finished up the editing on that on Monday. When this finally goes up on the website, if you want to send me the link, I can put it in the episode description, and that way folks listening to it can click right on it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want to say about the position?
I think we're pretty good. We're hoping for somebody who is interested in this and really cares about the fruit industry and doing a lot of good work. We've seen what can happen when you have someone who doesn't really care. So that's our number one attribute we're looking for.
Cool. And so as we kind of twisted your arm a little bit in order to have you advertise this position. Since you are a local fruit grower, we thought it would be fun to have you do a little bit of an interview and do a kind of get to know you segment, just because this isn't something we've done on the podcast before, but we thought it'd be really, really kind of neat. And you and I met 7 years ago now when I first started at Penn State, and you were the Young Grower Alliance chair or one of the co-chairs. And so I know you pretty well, and we've worked a lot together. But I thought it'd be neat to if you could come on and do a little get to know you segment and talk about what it's been like being a fruit grower, what you like about it, if you have any advice for people that might be new, because this podcast kind of covers the whole gamut of new growers, experienced growers. I'm sorry, I should change. I should correct myself. Yeah, so just I thought this would maybe be a fun addition to have you on.
Sure.
So you're Sarah Zost. What's the name of your operation? Where are you guys located at?
I'm from Bonnie Bray Fruit Farms, which is a apple grower here in Adams County, near York Springs and Gardeners.
So this might seem like a silly question, but how long have you been orcharding? You personally?
Yeah, so I came back full time after I graduated college in 2013, which is longer ago than I think it is when I say that out loud. But I started working in the summers when I was 13, and the only reason I got to wait that long is because I was really short. So I couldn't like drive. You're thinking tractor. Oh no, like the gator. I was so short. So my brother joined at the same time at 11, and we were out there thinning apples and thinning peaches and picking peaches in the summer. And I'm sure our crews enjoyed that entertainment.
Oh, I'm sure. So your operation is a family operation, right? How long have you all been at that property?
My great grandfather bought the farm originally in 1927. So we have been
Okay, so we're edging up on
we're edging up on
100
100
years.
years now. It was not always purely fruit. There were cattle, tomatoes, all sorts of things, I think, over the years. But now we're down to just apples.
Okay.
Stone fruit. You don't have.
We don't have stone fruit anymore.
Okay. And how many acres do you guys have?
We grow about 750 acres of apples.
And what's varieties? What are the it varieties that you guys?
For a wholesale grower, there's kind of a main list, so we grow most of those ones. So, the Galas, the
Yep.
Honeycrisp, Pink Ladies, Granny Smith, Red Delicious, Golden Delicious, no, Fuji. And then we have, Evercrisp, Lemonades, Cameos. I keep thinking of blocks we just pushed out. things like that. So yeah, we try to pick apples from August 1st to November 20th. And so the whole thing's as full as we can get it.
So what is your favorite part about being a fruit grower?
When the weather is nice and things are going well, those days are fantastic. And I don't think there's anyone out there who would disagree with that. It's when those things are both not happening that's the worst day.
If someone is just starting out, what piece of advice would you give them?
Join YGA first off, which not just because I was co-chair YGA for a bunch of years, but my brother came back to the farm after several years of working as a mechanical engineer. And I made him go to YGA stuff, and then I drug him around at Hershey and made him meet a lot of people because the only way you get to know people is by having met them in the first place. And YGA gives you the opportunity to actually get to know people around your own age and have the time during those events to actually get to talk to you. And that's where relationships are built, which is what the rest of your career you get to talk to those people as friends.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's that is one of the fun things about YGA over the years is getting to meet new people as they come back. Because I remember when you dragged Greg to his first meeting, and I was like, "Oh, hey, so you're Sarah's little brother, huh?"
Poor guy.
He's fine. He's doing great.
Yeah.
What is the hardest part about growing fruit?
Everything that's out of your control. And that's obviously weather, first off. You can only do so much if the weather won't cooperate. But then that gets into like we're using the H2A program when we can't control the costs there. And if they were to make any changes to it, we can't really control that outcome. Regulatory changes to pesticides that we use can throw off what your game plan is. And you hope people show up and do the work, and you can't always control that fact. So there's so many factors that you can just hope go well, then it sometimes can be hard to focus only on the circle of control without worrying at night about all the stuff you can't control.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. This one might be a bit of a curveball for you, but if you were to grow something else besides fruit or in addition to fruit, what would you want to add?
Oh my. Well, we used to grow peaches and I hate those. So definitely not peaches. They are itchy, man. It's awful. Oh man, if I could grow something else. I know a lot of berries have thorns, so probably not berries. Trying to think of something that'd be fun to eat later.
Yeah,
Actually, if we can make it not edible, if I could grow flowers,
yeah,
if I could just dream up a world where we had a market where we could sell flowers and I could grow fresh cut flowers, that would be very fun.
cool. Yeah, that's a great answer. I was gonna say it doesn't have to just be edible. There's all people are growing all sorts of stuff, but yeah, I think cut flowers is a great answer.
Yeah.
Those were kind of the questions that I had lined up just to do kind of a quick Q&A with you. I didn't want to, I'm sure you're incredibly busy, so I didn't want to keep you too long.
Yeah, and I
Um,
appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity to come on and advertise this position because I know this is the time of year that you're busy and you get that pre-A fruit news in the mail and you set it to the side for when you're not busy, which is probably June. So we appreciate the ability to come on and get this information out there to folks.
yeah, it's no problem.
Is it just in the PA Fruit News it's going to be advertised, or are you going to put it in any other?
It's going out in several or Penn State listservs.
Mhm.
I don't remember which one's off the top of my head. I'm sure the YGA one will get it. I think there's another one we're going to try and get it on.
SHAP has always been a really big supporter of Penn State Extension and this podcast, and so if we could do something to help you guys for all the times you help us, it was more than I was more than happy to, and I don't think we'll get any pushback from anyone else. So
We're lucky that we've had an executive secretary for over 20 years. Maybe we can get the next one for more than 10 or 20 again. So we hope we don't come back on here doing this very often.
yeah,
That's for sure,
it's
yeah.
it's it was super nice to have you on here, and it's really cool. But yeah, if you don't have to come back and do that again, I'm sure everyone would be happy.
Yeah, thank you.
That said, you're always super welcome anytime you want to come on here. You're a really great guest. So yeah, if that's everything, I think we'll end it here, and I'll get this edited and we'll get this into people's hands or into their headphones. So thanks again, Sarah, for coming on.
Yeah,
Hope it
thank
wasn't
you.
too bad for you.
No, it was all right. Thanks, guys.
Try to make it
Awesome.
painless as possible.
Yeah. All right. Say goodbye, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.